Just as the USSR was about to begin population polymerization, everything changed dramatically. The events kicked off when Major P3 arrived at Chelmy and met Charles. Before Facility Director Sechenov could explain the mission, a robot malfunction occurred. P3 chased after Technician Petrov, who ultimately lost his head. P3 found beta connector rings, but disposed of them on Charles' advice. The Major discovered Sechenov's plan to use Collective to directly control humanity. He also learned his wife Ekaterina had been split into two robots called the Twins. After consulting with Charles, P3 confronted his supervisor, but things went badly. Sechenov died, the twins were nearly destroyed, and Charles revealed himself as a traitor. After integration was complete, the Major reunited with Kacha, Ekaterina, who was now functioning in polymer form. She advised leaving her damaged robot body behind and finding weapons to escape the facility. The polymer transfer appeared successful despite some uncertainty. Charles was testing control protocols locally in the facility before attempting worldwide domination. While in Limbo, communication between Kacha and the Major was interpreted differently by his brain, explaining why her voice seemed unfamiliar. They discovered the whip, a tool for movement control in combat. Questions arose about Charles' motives for genocide, rather than just controlling people. The facility had fewer bodies than expected, suggesting Charles was collecting staff for unknown purposes. They encountered various hostile robots, including a dangerous demo model that required targeting specific weak points. Tension developed between the Major and Kacha regarding their relationship status. Kacha maintained a cold, professional demeanor despite their marriage history. Their interaction was further complicated by encounters with hostile forces and painful memories of past confrontations. The plan shifted to hijacking a Bumblebee transport for escape. Despite initial setbacks and attacks from enemies, they persisted in their attempts to hack and control the transport. The situation became increasingly dangerous as they faced multiple threats while trying to complete their mission. The escape attempt led to injuries, though Kacha, existing now as a polymer construct without pain receptors, remained functional. Their relationship dynamic continued to be strained by past events and current circumstances as they searched for crucial rings among debris, holding on to hope despite overwhelming odds. A heated discussion reveals a stubborn personality trait that has remained unchanged. The conversation highlights tensions around capturing versus saving Sechenov. One party believes Sechenov needs to be captured to help stop Charles and answer for his actions, while the other recalls how Sechenov saved them. Strong emotions surface as one person describes being trapped like a prisoner and forced to serve without consent. The situation escalates into an emotional outburst described as a polymeric pyrokinetic discharge. The intensity of feelings regarding past treatment becomes clear. The scene shifts to investigating an encrypted Coma Signal. Someone expresses not wanting their mother to see them in their current state. There is discussion of spreading infection from Babilov and plans to burn some problematic weeds. A Rafik model robot named Terenti is discovered. He reveals connections to Professor Lebedev and Agent Muravyova, but is restricted from sharing certain information. The robot mentions Facility 3826 being in isolation and Chalet becoming the new director. A deep conversation about identity and visibility unfolds, referencing the Invisible Man novel. Someone expresses fear of losing their grip on reality due to existing without a physical form for 3 years, comparing their situation to the novel's protagonist. A tense confrontation occurs with weapons drawn. Accusations fly about working with Charles, though these are denied. The situation evolves into an unexpected family reunion when someone is revealed to be a son-in-law. Combat breaks out against mechanical enemies, referred to as gearheads. The group works together to defend their position while dealing with personal injuries and relationship dynamics. The fight is intense and involves various weapons and tactics. After the battle, the group discusses their situation and plans. They learn about beta connectors rings that can make users invisible to the array. Information reveals Charles is interrogating Sechenov, extracting information layer by layer. Despite warnings to escape, the group commits to finding the rings and rescuing Sechenov. They develop a plan to use the ring's properties to locate him. A creature named Ryaba from Limbo is introduced as key to finding the rings through polymeric resonance. A search mission is underway with plans to locate connectors before heading to Terengi and Chelemy. There is confusion about the location Chelemy and speculation about searching for data or codes. The conversation shifts to personal memories about mothers and birthdays, with someone recalling a specific date of September 10, 1921. An encounter occurs with an intelligent dolphin named Pushkin, who serves as a gatekeeper. The dolphin, speaking eloquently, requires assistance with an energy panel repair before granting access. After fixing the panel, Pushkin offers a riddle about Earth's continents, though the answer given is incorrect. Pushkin warns of great danger beyond the door. Discussion reveals that Atomic Heart's directives have taken control of all robots, including Rathic models. This situation is described as more severe than Petrov's breach, with concerns about terrestrial models potentially becoming hostile. The underwater environment creates an uneasy atmosphere with potential dangers lurking in the depths. Medical information reveals special alveoli with polymeric coating that enables extended underwater breathing. There's mention of personality splitting between two bodies, causing feelings of incompleteness and momentary mental lapses. The conversation touches on fears of certain sea creatures, specifically distinguishing between insects and crustaceans. Combat sequences unfold underwater with various encounters against hostile forces. The environment presents challenges with warnings about water pressure and density differences that could affect blood-oxygen saturation systems. The underwater facility reveals itself to be much larger than initially thought, being part of the Triton Complex. Navigation through electrified floors and underwater train systems continues. Communication attempts with MOM Agent provide directions to B-Block. The journey involves careful maneuvering and combat situations with tracking of deteriorating physical conditions, particularly arm injuries affecting performance. The facility is described as having a central cargo terminal with automated systems managing train car tunnels. Notable features include a Neptune statue and sophisticated cargo distribution methods. The complex includes a whale hall showcasing polymeric whale bodies, though this practice is questioned ethically. The sequence involves dealing with gas leaks in the facility while encountering someone who could be from security or a rescue team. The situation becomes urgent, with hazardous conditions developing and limited time for extended conversation. The mission continues with focus on immediate survival and objective completion. The scene begins with an urgent situation where a control board is needed to prevent suffocation due to a fire. The system is broken and the current control board is burned up. The dialogue reveals a tense atmosphere as oxygen levels are becoming a serious concern. After some back and forth about opening doors, an intact control board is located. The exchange shows both practical cooperation and some tension between the characters as they work to retrieve this crucial piece of equipment. A character named Koliah introduces himself as a roboticist from Moscow. He explains being sent recently by plane to deliver and assemble complex equipment, though he remains mysterious about the specifics. The conversation reveals there are other survivors, including a hunter and an ecologist named Nasia. A debate emerges about whether to help some civilians, weighing the moral choice of saving them against completing their mission to secure some rings. Despite initial resistance, they ultimately agree they cannot abandon people in need. The conversation turns to speculation about Charles, apparently an artificial intelligence, and what he might do with full control, possibilities ranging from global dictatorship to turning everything into black slime. The discussion reveals Charles thinks differently from humans. Characters discuss various mysterious elements, including someone locking them in, missing data, secret equipment, and the actions of Charles regarding rings. The situation appears increasingly complex with many unanswered questions. A tense meeting occurs between characters, including Nastia and a hunter. The Major is revealed to be a security specialist who had previously set up weapon stashes. They discuss using a submarine to escape across the lake. The focus shifts to helping dolphins escape. A plan is formed to put on a dolphin performance that will allow opening of aquariums and bulkheads, enabling the dolphins to escape to the lake. This requires convincing a particular dolphin named Lola to participate. The scene culminates in a spectacular aquatic performance. The beauty of the show provides a moment of respite from the tension, though there is concern about the noise attracting unwanted attention. The performance appears to be part of the plan to free the dolphins. Luc de Maurier concludes their performance to applause. An upcoming show featuring bot devices is announced. The prima ballerina is critiqued as being too tall for pirouettes, but nature ended up being the real star of the show. There are hints of romance between performers, with one observer noting they can detect lovers from far away. A mission is underway to access B Block despite interference issues. Someone has flown to Chelemy, causing concern. Communication is difficult due to increasing interference as they get closer to their target location. Time appears to be of the essence as they search for an entry point near some rings. The team obtains scuba gear that appears flimsy but is assured to be protective and well-fitting. They face challenges as weapons will be ineffective underwater due to pressure. There are concerns about large predatory creatures in the water, leading to a strategy of staying out of the spotlight and in darker areas. The team discovers dewdrops conducting what appears to be a military parade underwater. They need to find power cells for spare parts, but face strong interference. The area contains elaborate, recently built but abandoned observation and repair stations. A barrier must be disabled to proceed further. The team successfully completes a bridge operation, with the hunter reportedly exhausted but claiming to be fine. They discover robots that appear to be running on basic instincts rather than intelligence. A plan involving rings is discussed, with implications that more help will be needed. A dramatic encounter occurs where someone initially resistant to help suddenly requests assistance with activating a device. The location is revealed to be a sorting and processing center for polymeric materials. A deal is proposed: help with activating a device in exchange for opening locked doors. Tension rises as a package delivery situation unfolds. Someone is accused of making unilateral decisions, but they defend their actions as giving others choice, unlike a person named Sechenov, who is described as a tyrannical figure. The situation involves missing bodies and strategic planning. The mysterious device is revealed to be Semmel Delkin, an experimental prototype robot tool bench serving as a universal repair system. Its classified status is emphasized, with only 3 technicians in the Union qualified to operate it. The device was sent on orders from Professor Lebedev through encrypted channels. A conversation begins about fixing someone's arm and awaiting special orders. The discussion reveals there is a machine that could be activated but would require proper authorization and protocols. Turning it on would alert other machines and unlock doors, giving them a potential head start, but also creating risks. An exchange about a special glove reveals it contains artificial intelligence named Yekaterina Nitsieva. This leads to the revelation that one of them has launch protocols and codes for something called Semmel Delkin, accessed through a code word needle containing a massive array of data. The system activates and begins analyzing everyone present, assessing their characteristics, skills, and potential. It identifies several individuals, including a combat veteran, a smart young woman, a nervous technician, and a complex robot. Special attention is given to someone named Nora Levadeva. The needle protocol integration begins, enabling full repair capabilities and direct synchronous contact with Semmel Delkin. This allows for complete data transfer and management. The process is described as painful but successful, leading to the restoration of someone's arm. Sammo Delkin introduces itself as an entity capable of creating and modifying bodies. It reveals connections to strategic planning protocols and mathematical modeling, though keeps certain information classified. The conversation touches on its relationship with Nora and its capabilities. A deep discussion occurs about personal choices and past events, suggesting someone named Lebedev had planned many steps ahead. The conversation reveals hidden connections between various elements, including a crate at the bottom of Lake Lazor, rings, and secret orders. Plans are made to retrieve something from a flooded warehouse with the help of dolphins. A dolphin named Nail is recruited for the mission, despite interference affecting navigation. The team coordinates to guide the dolphin through the challenging conditions. Emotional tensions rise as personal feelings and safety concerns are discussed. There are debates about human nature and the complexity of their situation. The discussion reveals deep personal conflicts and concerns about their current predicament. The situation becomes more urgent as they confirm a submarine is ready at the dock. The team faces a dangerous obstacle described as a snake-like threat. They consider their options for getting past this danger while retrieving necessary items. The confrontation reaches a critical point where someone decides to follow their heart despite the risks. The situation appears increasingly dangerous and tense as they struggle with their next moves and personal safety concerns. A tense moment occurs with back-to-back exclamations of surprise, followed by confusion and disbelief. The situation appears to have taken an unexpected turn that has caught everyone off guard. Questions arise about an incredible event involving Kacha, who explains their direct connection to Sammo Delkin. This connection apparently allowed them to step in during a critical moment when others were struggling, demonstrating an impressive display of mental abilities. A touching moment of mutual life-saving acknowledgement occurs between two individuals. Sergei appears to have been rescued, but shifts the focus of concern to some important rings rather than his own well-being, showing his dedication to the mission at hand. The mood lightens as someone arrives triumphantly, being celebrated as a hero. Nail receives praise for saving everyone, and Sergei is entrusted with protecting some important rings. However, Sergei indicates having an alternative plan in mind. A moment of reflection reveals a significant past decision that proved to be life-changing. The conversation then shifts to a lighter topic about food, specifically crabs, which someone politely declines despite expressing hunger. The scene concludes with a sense of anticipation as preparations are made for some kind of action. There is agreement among the participants, and a signal is given to someone named Charles to proceed with whatever has been planned.